there's something amazing hidden in a remote canyon in southeastern Colorado. Researching before my visit, I realized something incredible. You can actually see it on Google Earth. Zooming deep into the heart of Comanche National Grasslands, distinct patterns emerge. Those dotted lines along the Picket River are dinosaur footprints, millions of years old. And with over 1,000 footprints, Picket Wire Canyon is the largest dinosaur track site in North America. In today's episode of Geography in the Wild, we're headed to Picket Wire Canyon, where we'll find there's more to explore than what we can see through Google Earth. We're about to hike down into Picket Wire Canyon, which I'm calling the land that time forgot. We're going to see artifacts today from 3 different time periods, including ones that are millions of years old. So let's go. A quick word of caution as we preview today's 13-mile hiking route. The heat in this canyon can be extreme. There's no shade and definitely no phone signal. If you plan to hike it, be prepared and bring enough water. Here's an interesting spot right off the trail. Let's see. So we've got that. Let's see if we can get a better view. There. And then up here, we've got this one, that like squiggly line. Here's another one that I can spot right from the trail. Another one of those squiggly line ones. You can see it pretty good. Let's see if there's anything. Oh yeah, holy cow. Look at this. Let's back up and get a better view. Wow, that's pretty cool. Here we get our first good view of the Picket River. Hopefully muddy this time of year. And heading out along the valley here all the way through. $18.95. About 4.5 miles into our hike, we arrived at the Dolores Mission and Cemetery. Built in the late 1800s by Hispanic settlers, this small Catholic church made of stone masonry and adobe was an important part of this small, isolated community. Most of the elaborately designed headstones in the cemetery are for young children who died between 1895 and 1900. Their short lives illustrate the hardships early inhabitants faced in Picket Wire Canyon. $18.99. There's a handful of these stones, maybe at least a half dozen, I think. Some beautiful markings and designs on them. Might be hard to see in the shade, but I know it's not dice, but some of these almost look like dice. If you know what they are, let me know. We were down there on the trail and we could see up here this interesting rock and this like hole-like structure, and it's pretty interesting. I guess it's naturally made, Doesn't go back too far, but little small cave, certainly a little shelter from the storm if that's what you need. As we were up here admiring this interesting rock formation, we looked over here and look at this cool cave. So let's check this out. Now we're behind the mission. So the mission is down there, and I imagine that the Spanish speaking people who lived here in the 1800s definitely came up here. Was it used by indigenous peoples prior to that? I don't see why not, considering we had all the petroglyphs in this area. Oh wow, goes back in there. You can probably get all the way through. I will not be going any further though. Looks like we're the first ones today. Sign the register. There are several really informative interpretive signs with a lot of information right before you reach the track site. I had a real chuckle when I saw this one because that's the exact site we saw from Google Earth. According to paleontologists, during the Jurassic period 150 million years ago, this area was part of the muddy shoreline of a large freshwater lake. That mud eventually hardened into limestone. Standing a few feet above the main track site, we can see several lines of tracks. There are over 1,000 individual footprints and over 100 trackways. The side-by-side tracks were a significant scientific finding, indicating that some types of dinosaurs traveled in herds. There are tracks at this site from both large plant-eating dinosaurs like the Brontosaurus and meat-eating dinosaurs like the Allosaurus. After hiking 6 miles through Picket Wire Canyon, I'm standing in the very spot that we were looking at on Google Earth earlier. This is the track site that has a path of dinosaur prints clearly going that way. And then right now, I'll walk through the path of 150 million year old prints. For lunch, Helen packed us caprese sandwiches with mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, and bomba sauce and pesto. There's more tracks on the other side of the Purgatoire River, and I was grateful to cross it without falling in. When we first arrived, I was a little disappointed. Many of the tracks were partly filled with water, but I soon realized those puddles actually made it easier to see the prints in this sunlight. I'm not sure how well you can see just how big these prints are in the video. So what Helen suggested, and it's a good idea, is we're going to take this this paper towel and try to use the water to show you just exactly how big it is. So it actually is quite deep and extends all the way up to here. It's about, I don't know, almost a foot in depth. And, I don't know, about 2 feet in width. These are amazing. There you have the entire print.